Hello there, and welcome to Tickera video tutorials. In this video, we will be explaining how to create a seating chart, how to create a floor plan, how to utilize seating groups, standing areas, points of interest, and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get going. First and foremost, in order to be able to create a seating chart, we must first create an event. So we'll do that. We'll call it my awesome event and then just publish it. And after that, we will need to create some ticket types. So given that we will be creating standing areas, seating groups, tables, we will create 3 ticket types. So let's say this will be a ticket type for the seating group, and we'll name it seating group ticket, and we'll set the price for it, let's say 100, publish it. One thing that you will notice is that you have an option to select the seat color here, and we'll select here, for example, color red. So when we assign this ticket type to the seating group, those seats will become red. Okay, let's update it. Next, we will create a ticket type for the standing area. We'll create new, and we'll call this one standing area ticket. We'll set the price for it, let's say 50. And then one important thing is that we need to set the quantity available for this ticket type. So you probably noticed that when we created a ticket type for the seating group ticket, we haven't set a quantity. This is because when the ticket type is used for the seating group or table, the number of the available tickets is dictated by the number of available seats. Therefore, we don't need to set a quantity, because as soon as all the seats are assigned and tickets for them sold, there will be no more available tickets. However, when we have a standing area, we need to set the quantity here because these tickets are not assigned. They're just like regular ticket types. Therefore, we need to set the number of available ticket quantity. Of course, you can leave it unlimited if you have unlimited space, that is. Which I truly doubt you have. So let's go on and publish this. And last but not least, we will create another one for the tables. We'll set reserved table ticket, and we will set the price for it, let's say 100 again, and set the seat color to say blue. And again, we don't have to set a quantity because this ticket type will be assigned to the actual seats, and the number of seats will be dictated by the available seats on the seating chart. Let's go on and publish this. So there we have it: reserved table ticket, seating group ticket, and standing area ticket. Okay, let's go now to the seating charts area, and let's hit create new. First, we need to set the seating chart title. We can set something like my awesome seating chart, and then we should select the event which this seating chart will be associated with. In this case, we have only one event, so we will select that, and then we'll just hit save. Next, let's create a seating group. Okay, we'll click on this pane here, and it says seating group. We can enter the title here, and let's call it, for example, first seating group. And let's say that we'll have 2 rows by 10 seats. You can also select the icon type. You can have circle, you can have rectangle, You see here it's something like a chair, and here's a little car if you want to use it as a parking lot or something like that. Still, we'll leave it this by default as a circle, and then we'll just hit create. And there we have it. We have 2 rows by 10 seats. Now, this seating group currently does nothing, as we need to assign our ticket types to these seats. Let's say that we want to have all these seats assigned with a seating group ticket, the one that we have created earlier. Let's just hit assign, and you have noticed that they are now colored red, which is the color that we have selected when we have created this ticket type. But that's not the whole story. Currently we have just assigned these seats to the ticket type, but we also need to assign to these seats their seat labels. So let's say that we want this first row to have odd numbers. Okay? For example, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. Okay? You can do this automatically. Simply select this row and then set that you want, you can set some prefix. We'll enter A here, and then we will say that these numbers should be 1 to 19. What the seating chart will do here, it will equally distribute the numbers from 1 to 19 divided by 10 seats, which as a result will have all the seats have odd numbering. Let's just hit assign, and when we start hovering them, you will notice that we have A1, A3, A5, etc. So let's assign the second row and have even numbers. Simply let's select this row, and let's name this row B. We'll start from 2 and all the way to 20, hit assign, and then we'll have B2, B4, B6, B8, etc. So if we need to reposition this seating group, you can simply hover this title, drag and move around, and then drop it. If you need to rotate it, you can hold this icon, rotate icon, and then start rotating it. If you need to rotate it in bigger steps, you can hit the shift button and then start rotating it again, and you will notice that it now have higher jumps in rotation. Okay, it's particularly useful, for example, if you need to have multiple seating groups. Let's say we have a second seating group here, the same, and you want these to be angled the same way. Simply hold the shift key and start rotating it, and you will have exactly the same angle. Okay, we will delete now this. So let's then move on and create a standing area. To do this, we will click this pane which says standing area, and let's call this standing area simply, well, standing area. Okay, and we will assign a ticket type to it that we have created earlier, that we have named standing area ticket. Once we create it, it will simply create a rectangle, and given that there are no seat assignments for this type of ticketing, we simply have one rectangle. We don't need to assign any seat labels or something like that, and this rectangle is freely resizable. As you can see, there are free size rectangles here that we can use to shape it the way we like and the way it matches our floor plan. Okay, Last but not least, let's create a table. For this, we will use this pane, and let's create a table. We'll call it table for 10. Okay. Number of seats, we can simply enter here 10, or we can use a slider to make it say 10. We can choose a table color here. Let's say that we'll use, I don't know, yellow color. And we can choose to use a circular shaped or rectangular shaped table. In case that you are using a rectangular shaped table, you can define how many end seats there are. Let me show you what this means. So let's say that we leave this as 0. Once we create this, as you can see, it will create a table, a rectangle in the middle, with 10 seats equally distributed, with 5 seats on each side of the table. However, if we edit this and we say that we want to have, let's say, 2 end seats, and hit edit, you will notice the change. So we have now 3 seats on each of the sides, and we have 2 seats as the end seats. Okay, so let's then assign the seats. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you need to select multiple seats on the opposite sides of the table, for example, you can lesser select one group of seats, and then you can hold the Control key or Command key if you're using Mac, and then lesser select another group, and then another group, and then another group. We'll then select Reserve Table Ticket Type and hit Assign, and it will be the color blue as we have selected it when we have created this ticket type. And lastly, we will select these again to assign seat labels, and we will say prefix a table, and let's say that we want this to go from 3 to, I don't know, 30, for example. Let's see what we got with this. So with this we have 3, 6, 9, 12. You get the idea. Of course, each of these elements you can freely move around and place wherever you want. So next you have also something that's called the elements. The best way to understand what this is, it's practically a point of interest. As you can see, there are a number of icons here that may be useful for you to represent a certain area. For example, a dance floor. Let's say it's a dance floor, we want the icon color to be blue and the background color to be, for example, orange. And if we create this, it will create for us a rectangle, which is also resizable. You can resize and have your dance floor, next to which is the seating group. Okay, and then we have table for 10. And we have our standing area here. Okay, and let's say that we want to have some entrance to mark an entrance to our venue. And the best way to do this is to use the icon like this. And let's go wild with the colors. And let's say that we want something like this as a background color and something like this as a foreground color, and create the entrance. Of course, you can set the title for this entrance, for example, entrance 1, and create this. Okay, let's put our entrance here, and let's say that we want create a bar that we can place here. And you get the idea what we're doing here. Okay. Once we're done creating our seating chart, you can simply hit the save button and you're done. The important thing to bear in mind is that the zoom level, which is defined here, you can zoom in and zoom out, as well as the position of the seating chart, which is simply set by moving the whole thing around. Whichever position and zoom level you set here in the backend prior to saving, and then save the changes, the same will be applied on the front end as well. This is one very frequently asked question actually by our customers. So let me say that again. Whichever zoom level and position you're using in the backend and then hit save, the same will be used on the front end as well. So talking about the front end, let's see how this looks on the front end and how this whole stuff works. So when I click view chart, you will notice that we have our pick your seats button. This is merely for the preview purposes. Let's say and use let's create a page real quick. Add title. Let's say we'll say that this is seating chart page, and let's add a block here. Let's say seating chart. Click this, and then we select our seating chart. The bottom title, well, we'll leave it like this: pick your seats. And then we can also set a custom subtotal title and cart title. For the sake of this tutorial, we'll leave everything by default. Let's hit publish. Okay, and then let's view this page on another tab. If we hit now pick your seats button that we have just created, there you have it. We have our seating chart here. The same one that we have created in the backend is displayed in front of us on the front end. Now, customers are free to move around and zoom their seating chart. This is particularly interesting if you have, for example, a large seating chart that you want to squeeze into the display, and therefore seats are becoming small and difficult to pick. In that case, this zoom will do wonders in these cases. Over there we have our legend that shows us all the available ticket types, as well as which seats are reserved and which ones are in the cart. Now, all the seats have their proprietary color. Of course, you can set all these colors in the settings. So let's jump back to the settings real quick to show you how this is done. So let's go to Tickera settings. There is a tab named seating chart, and over there we can select a color for the unavailable seat, reserved seat, in cart seat color for the seats that are in others cart, and seats that have been checked in. Also, you can disable zoom if you want. This will be then disabled only on the front end. Okay, so let's set a different color for the unavailable seats. Let's set the reserved seat color to green, and in cart color to, I don't know, something like this in others cart. And that's basically it. Let's now move back to our seating chart here. Let's refresh the page, click the pick your seats again, and you will notice that we'll have now different colors here. So if we hit, if we select this seat, a pop-up will appear offering us to add the ticket for this seat to our cart. And as soon as we do this, you will notice that the price here is shown and the color of that seat has been changed to the in cart. And that's basically it. You can now proceed to the cart page where you can follow the checkout process as you would do with any other Tickera ticket. Okay, we did our best to cover here all the cases you might encounter with the seating chart. Still, there are many details about the seating chart, and we probably missed something. Of course, if you have any questions, have any doubts, or need any further explanations, please contact us, shoot us an email, submit a support ticket, and we'll do our best to explain and to show you and to make an example. Okay? I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you did, please consider subscribing to our YouTube video channel. Okay? Till the next time, bye bye.